The second type of people were كاسيات عاريات مائلات مميلات على رؤوسهن كأسمنة البخت. Women who would be naked and dressed at the same time. Now, in the traditional hadith commentaries, if you read them, Jazakumullahu khairan, they usually said كاسيات في الدنيا عاريات في الآخرة. They have clothes in this world, but no clothes in the next world, because they couldn't understand this is in logic. It doesn't work. How can you be dressed and naked at the same time? And this is pre-spandex logic. This is logic before. We know how people can be dressed and naked at the same time now. So the Prophet ﷺ said there would be women who were dressed and naked at the same time. They inclined in their walking, and they caused others to incline towards them with their shahwat, with their desire. They wore their hair like aslimat al-bukht, which are the humps of the Bakhtian camel. Not the Arabic camel, which the Bakhtian camel, the hair is all over the place. Right? This is a very interesting description. You look at a Bakhtian camel and then look at a picture of Tina Turner. And you'll get the picture immediately. Now the sad thing about it is, now we've got Khadijas and Fatimas imitating. You see, in the Muslim land, the land of the Muslims, where modesty is the characteristic of this deen, that's the sign of the deen. If you don't have modesty, you don't have the sign by which this deen is recognized. Because every deen has a sign. And the Prophet ﷺ said the characteristic of my deen, لِكُلِّ دِينٍ خُلُقٍ وَخُلُقُ الْإِسْلَامَ الْحَيَاءِ. Every deen has a characteristic, and the characteristic of my deen is modesty. If you do not have modesty, then you don't have a portion of the Prophet ﷺ's deen. So a woman who loses that, it means that she's lost modesty. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, it's a sign. It's not, the fact that she is dressed like that is not what takes her to the hellfire. That is only a sign of what takes her to the hellfire. What takes her to the hellfire is a loss of iman that has resulted in the manifestation of the sign. So that is a sign for people. And that's why our women have to wake up. They have to wake up. Really, the women have to wake up and recognize that if they are kasiyatun ariyat, ma'ilat mumilat, then they're manifesting a sign. And the Prophet ﷺ said, La yajidanna raihat al-jannah. These women won't find the scent of paradise. وَإِنَّ رَائِحَتَهَا لِمَسِيرَةِ 500 عَامٍ. And its scent continues for 500 years. Now, that obviously, sufur, or women not wearing proper clothing, was a sign that scholars have been complaining about since the 1st century. But if they were alive now, they would have to pass out. They wouldn't have a. There's no frame of reference. Right? Seriously. There's no frame of reference. So the later people are only completing the sign. It continues to increase until by the end of time, the Prophet ﷺ said that a man will have a woman on the side of the road. And the best of them, أَمْثَالُهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ الَّذِي يَقُولُ لَوْ نَحِيتَهَا عَنَ الطَّرِيقِ قَلِيلًا. Would that you would just move her out of the way. And he said, يَتَهَارَجُونَ كَتَهَارُجُ الْحَمِيرِ. That people would have sexual orgies and things like donkeys. Or يَتَصَافَتُونَ. I mean, this is in the hadith. And this is all from blind imitation.